Hello everyone, welcome back to another Moveset video, and today we are doing Vileplume. Now, Vileplume's interesting. It's basically another Venusaur, but like you gotta work it a different way because first of all, we don't have any access to Leech Seed. Leech Seed is not on here and we cannot use it. So, we can't do that, which is a problem. But Vileplume can still work. It has a pretty neat special attack with that 110 right there, which is pretty nice, although the speed is a little lacking compared to Venusaur's. So, there is that. But, with this special attack range, one thing that is kind of disappointing is we are, like, just barely, just barely out of that one-hit KO range for pretty much all of our super effectives. Now, there are some that our super effectives will one-shot, but pretty much most of them that we are going to be super effective on, we're just right there. We're like in that 90% range, like 85 to 95%. Like, we're really close on pretty much all the Pokemon we're super effective on. So, because of this, I feel like growth actually is useful. Growth can actually be useful here. Now, uh, you of course don't have to use it, but I highly recommend you do. Uh, but just trying to. There's not really much other you can use. You could use reflect if you want just more defenses or just protect, but you don't have leech seed, so protect isn't really that useful unless you're in doubles. Uh, but this is more just for singles. I'm not really doing doubles. Uh, but yeah, it's kind of just that. It's what you got. You could just use Moonblast for more coverage. It'll give you more coverage instead. But I'm gonna go with the growth for when I personally make a set because I feel like because once you get this growth set up, there's a lot of interesting things that happen. So one thing with growth is if you get that, you get most of the one hit KOs. So all the water types, Mega Drain will be one hit KOing them, except well, all the water types that Mega Drain is still super effective on. The only exception to that rule is Vaporeon, which you will need the still two shot, because Vaporeon is really tanky. So yeah, I mean it will be hitting you back with ice beams, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually two shot you. Let me actually double check that. So Vaporeon, let's just give it some ice beams. Oh, okay, so it does two shot you. Uh, so Vaporeon actually isn't the best matchup, but we will be doing damn. Actually, I think you do still win this fight, even though Vaporeon does have Ice Beam. I think because of the recovery. Let's see, that does 55 average. So then you do that. Then you do that with a non-boosted. You regain. Let's just say you gain 35, and then 55. Yeah, so you will win this fight against a Vaporeon. It's just you are gonna be a little crippled after it, but you do win that fight. Just because of Giga Drain's healing. So yeah, so we do win that. Another neat thing is if you were, let's say, you go against a Pokemon like Rhydon. Rhydon does not want to stay in this. Rhydon is very weak, and you can actually one-shot it with Mega Drain. So Rhydon is getting the heck out of there. Uh, so let's just say they switch into an Alolan Ninetales. Well, if you growthed that turn, Sludge Bomb will one-shot Alolan Ninetales, which I think is pretty good. Yes, you will be hit for like a 50 to 60. Actually, it might have even been up to 75. I gotta look this up too. Let's give that Ice Beam. Get rid of that Hail. So yeah, 60 to like 70% damage. So it does hurt, but you do get rid of a Ninetales, a Alolan Ninetales pretty nicely there. So that's nice. And yeah, I mean, again, you growth and then you're one-shot things. Vileplume's pretty tanky. It will take hits. If it's not super effective, I pretty much guarantee you it will tank it. Because defensive stats are pretty decent, and with you having Mega Drain, you can kind of just heal that back up. Plus, also, another move I do recommend is Sleep Powder. Just, it's something else to do. Like, if there's a Pokemon that it's like you're kind of evenly matched, you can use Sleep Powder to put it to sleep and then use Growth to set up on it. That way you can then, while you're Mega Draining it, you're then healing more while damaging it more at the same time. Uh, so yeah, that'll probably get you like put a little edge in the battle for you. But yeah, I don't see really anything else you could swap this with. I mean, if you want to do Stun Spore instead, that's possible, but paralyzing sleep sometimes is just better than paralyzing the opponent. You could also potentially swap it out with Toxic, although that will only work out against special attackers if they are not poison or steel type. So, I mean, it could work on physical attackers, but it just won't work as well because then it's not lowering their attack power on you. Yeah, don't use Substitute. It's not really that good for Vileplume, at least what I can tell. But yeah, this is pretty much what you're gonna use. I don't really see another moveset working, although you could again swap out Moonblast with Growth just to get more coverage, or swap it out with Sleep Powder, whatever one you feel is better. You could also potentially do Rest, but I feel Vileplume can get really. Someone could easily take advantage of that on Vileplume. Like, a normal Ninetales would just switch in, and then they could put up a nasty plot, and then that's a normal Ninetales that is easily set up on a because of Vileplume doing that. So you kind of don't want to rest too often. I mean, I just don't recommend rest because of that. Ninetales actually is decently common. I think it's just being used because people like it. At least I see it being used. I could be completely wrong, and Ninetales is actually a pretty uncommon Pokemon, but my battles have seen it. I personally use one myself because I like Ninetales. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much more I can say. It pretty much competes with Venusaur for like the same job, which is kind of makes Vileplume not too well because Venusaur does have a Mega Evolution, which kind of makes Vileplume overshadowed by it, sadly. So yeah, Vileplume just kind of has to go with the more stat up option and then hope it can survive with Mega Drain. Like, you're mostly going to be using Mega Drain to get that high damage and healing back. But most situations, I would probably actually recommend Venusaur over Vileplume on your team, since it does the same thing and it's better. Like, I don't even think you need the Mega, and I think Venusaur's just a little bit better. So, yeah, Vileplume's there. It's still usable. It's not a bad Pokemon. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying it's overshadowed by Venusaur, which just does its job just that tiny bit better. But yeah, pretty sure that's everything. There's not really any other moveset you can do. You can't even like there's not really a way to even abuse like the fact that Growth is doing your physical, because all you got is Headbutt, Raised Elite for Facade. So can't really make use of that at all. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I have a Discord link which will be in the description. You can use that to just chat with me, chat about moveset guides and stuff. Maybe share your own opinions on guides and stuff and what you think actually works better and all that. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed, and bye.